What is up, YouTube land? If you notice something a little unorthodox, I actually have a wine glass with milk in it, okay? Everybody says I've been a little improper lately with the Logitech that I made a video the other day teaching people how to do something with targeting, and I said Logitech, and I got a lot of hate for it because I pronounced it wrong. So not only am I pronouncing stuff wrong now, but I'm sipping this milk out of wine glasses, okay? And then we're gonna remain this way because it seems like I'm doing everything improper, and I'll keep it this way, all right? So again, in today's video, what we're talking about here is placements. And by the way, I like the milk, okay? So really quickly, we're gonna cut this out. I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna drink it. And so what we're gonna be talking about here right now is actually going and talking about placements and targeting. So when it comes down to placements and targeting, there's a few things you have to keep in mind, okay? Placements, first thing is first. Define your placements from the get-go. If you're not using Messenger, leave Messenger unchecked. More than likely, you're not using Messenger, so don't worry about that. Audience network. So what is the audience network, and why should you not use the audience network? Well, the audience network is basically, if you've ever been in any apps and you've seen ads that you've seen on Facebook, or you've just seen ads in any app, that's the audience network, where Facebook goes out there and they work with app developers, website owners, etc., and they kind of use like a third-party ad placement system where they put their ads, our ads, on those websites and whatnot. Now that's some stuff that we can potentially use, but for now, we don't want the audience network. It just doesn't convert as well as we want it to. But again, you can pretty much test and scale later on. And right over here, I guess they try to scare you because they notice that people stop using the audience network. It says removing audience network as a placement will result in 11% fewer conversions on average on your objective. We recommend choosing automatic placements so that your ads are shown in places where they're likely to perform best. I personally haven't ever really noticed a detrimental decrease in conversions, but I have noticed an incremental increase in ad spend with audience network, or more so impressions, wasted impressions. So essentially more money spent. So again, just keep that in mind. Instagram, make sure that your Instagram is linked up, or you're gonna use your page for Instagram if you wanna leave it. In our case, I don't really wanna use it. Now when it comes down to Facebook, this is pretty interesting, okay? Right column, instant articles, feeds. Take off instant articles, okay? We're not really using that. Right column, we can keep. Feeds, you definitely wanna use feeds. So when it comes down to placements, if you wanna go ahead and this is your first ad you're ever running, right here, worry about feeds more than anything, and right column as well. Now right column is really up to you. I focus on feeds and right column too, but when you're going out there and you're brand new creating an ad, I suggest starting with feeds if that's the only ad that you're gonna be using, just because it's smack dab in the middle of somebody's screen. And speaking about that, okay, so the device types that you have, you can do mobile only, desktop only. Now, again, majority of your traffic will be coming from mobile, but what I suggest you do is stick with all devices for now until you get more advanced and you know pretty much what ads are going where. Oh goodness, everything was just checked off again. So here we go. All right, so again, once you get a little bit more advanced, you can start split testing out mobile versus desktop from the get-go with a little bit of a higher daily budget. But just for this video's sake, we're focusing on working with these placements right here. So this is what I recommend. This is a beginner series more than anything, but I kind of want to give you an idea of what we're going to be working with over here. So our placements are going to be feeds and right-hand column as well. Now, right-hand column is going to be more about the desktop more than anything. As a matter of fact, you can't do right-hand column on mobile, so keep that in mind. Now, again, purchase as our conversion pixel if you watched yesterday's video. Daily budget, $5, $10, whatever the heck you want, right? But now we're on to targeting. Now this is where it gets really, really fun. So the targeting is actually not that hard. If you remember, we're going Fisher Price and Babies R Us because we're selling, theoretically, we're selling some type of romper. So first thing is first, I wanna see this really quick. So Fisher Price, all right, estimated reach 1.4 million. Okay, Fisher Price. Now I have never really did these back to back. Babies R Us. These are the employers. Whoops. Babies R Us. Where? Babies R Us. Employers, I'm not looking for the employers. Why can't I find this? So it seems like as doing my research, Babies is just not a thing anymore. I guess you can't target Babies R Us because they're smart enough to perhaps even reach out to Facebook and have them as an interest that's untargetable. But Babies R Us as employers is a thing. Babies R Us is a thing as well. But anyway, let's just take a look at what we have over here. Infant, cute babies, babies with a smiley face, beautiful babies, hungry babies, making babies. Look at that. All right, it's pretty interesting. Sugar babies, right? These are getting so weird. Let's just see. I love babies. Babies R Us as employers. All right, so we're really getting down. Pregnancy, App Store, Johnson & Johnson's baby. That's actually a pretty good one. All right, Johnson's baby. I mean, I hope this is what I think it is, like Johnson & Johnson, the brand, because we only see Johnson's baby. All right, so essentially, I guess right over here, what I would do is find something more massive. Now, what I'm gonna be doing is, here's how I like to go after it. I like to find brands in a particular niche that I go after. If I could find those brands that are selling some type of item that are targetable inside of Facebook with their interest, that's why you see I have over here Fisher-Price and Babies R Us. The reason being is because people that know these brands are buying from them. People go to Babies R Us not to just browse around and have a merry old time. They're going there because either they need to buy something for somebody on the registry, or they need to go there because, well, they have a baby or something, or they know somebody who's having a baby. So the whole point is the Babies R Us concept, it works really, really well given the fact that people are going and purchasing from this mega brand. So if I could ideally go out and target them, I would. Over here, I can't. Fisher-Price is something I can target. Fisher-Price makes a bunch of children's toys, seats, baby stuff, a lot of things that Fisher-Price makes. But I started scrolling down more and more and I found Johnson's Baby. Now, Johnson's Baby, I'm gonna click on it because this is what I wanna do. Ready? Once I found a brand, I can dive deeper. Once you click on it, you already know. You can see Pampers, which again, is definitely something I'm gonna be using now. Huggies Baby Center. All right, Baby Center. Now, what I'm gonna do, Johnson & Johnson's now here. So Johnson's Baby, Johnson & Johnson. Babies R Us, as an interest, is here. Okay, there we go. I just needed to do some digging and click on my spacebar 2 times to have this interest there. So I found Babies R Us. All right, it's there. And it's actually 890,000 people. Now, Fisher-Price was more. So let me just copy this because last time I could never find it last time. So what I'm gonna do is target Fisher-Price and I wanna see when I flex it what happens. So Fisher-Price, all right, we have around 1.4 million people. I'm gonna narrow down Babies R Us as an interest, and it might be like 300,000, 200,000, 220,000 people. So when I'm going out there and selling, let's go to AliExpress really quick. And let's say I'm actually, let me go in here so you guys don't see what I'm selling in the search bar, all right? Because if not, I might have competition everywhere. So let me go to baby rompers. Let's say I'm selling some baby rompers, right? What I'm gonna be doing, this is probably the best targeting that I can possibly get anywhere at this point, right here, right? So again, 3 pieces in a lot, so around $6 a unit. And that's fine. Sell it for 17 bucks. I could probably resell this for $32 or so. And the perfect targeting that I'm gonna go out there and shoot for is people that like Fisher-Price and Babies R Us. Now the reason being is because you have to think about it like this, right? So let me go to a Venn diagram. And again, I love showing this because it really portrays and conveys the fact of what I'm trying to get across to you. So a Venn diagram, okay? So what the heck am I doing when I'm going out there and targeting? And I actually just made a video for my students inside the 100K Blueprint explaining this a little bit deeper. So I was actually talking about iPhone 6s and iPhone 6 when we talk about niche in general. So general, here's the thing. A lot of people could say, well, Dan, general, iPhone 6s isn't general. Well, or iPhone 6 and iPhone 6s. Here's the thing, how I niche it down and generalize it. If you take a look, niche down, right, for an iPhone 6s, I did all genders, all ages, and it's under the mark of 750,000 people, all right? Or I'm sorry, 75,000 to 500,000 people. So it's under that range, which means that that particular interest that I'm targeting is already niched down. I don't need to go any further. However, I set a milestone for myself where if I go general, 800,000, 750,000 to around 1.2 million is ideally where I want to reach that particular audience, because here's the thing. if you try to go out wide, if you try to go, and I did this with iPhone 6, I think it was, and we ended up finding 80 to 90 million people, and the problem with that, or iPhone in general, as a matter of fact, we went after iPhone in general, and the problem with iPhone in general is that it had around 80 to 90 million people in the US alone out of 210 million people. So when you go out there and target to everybody, now this isn't terribly bad if you go out and try to, you have an iPhone case, a generic iPhone case, you try to reach everybody with an iPhone, but if you go out there, right, and you target 80 to 90 million people, and let's say you spend, I don't know, you're gonna spend a lot of money for every single sale. Let's maybe say $15, $20 per sale before Facebook really starts to catch on. What happens when you actually hit that peak, that dry run, okay, where you actually have like 7-8 days of no sales because Facebook can't pick up different people? Now, if we really niche it down and we kind of bring it back down to our ideal range of 800,000 to 1.2 million, what's gonna happen is we're gonna be able to take that audience and we're gonna know who we're, number one, who we're talking to, and number two, not only who we're talking to, but the most important part about this is we can create LAAs. So we can create lookalike audiences when it comes down to finding more buyers in that audience. So essentially, rather than going out there and trying to target all 90 million people with your one particular product, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go out there and max try to aim for 1.2 million, and then when you start getting 200-300 sales within that audience, what you're gonna do is take that same audience and create a 1% LAA. And you just keep creating lookalike audiences at that point, and you're gonna get to a point where you have like 40 lookalikes, and it might have 2 million people in each lookalike, and that's around 80 million people, AKA your ideal, or what you were targeting when you were doing 80 to 90 million people in the kind of generic space. So I hope that kind of makes sense, and if that doesn't really make sense in your mind, rewind this video and listen to it. I know I speak a little fast about it. It's because I kind of say this off the top of my head because I'm very used to this as well in myself. I already know all this stuff. So for me, it's easy for me to process as well. So let me kind of break this down for you even further. We're gonna kind of take this little step further. So we have Babies R Us, which has around 1 million people in it, which is fine, right? And then we have Fisher Price, which has, what is it, 6 or 12 million people. That's interesting, 12 million people, okay? So what I did over here was I said, okay, I'm gonna open this up a little bit. What we're gonna do is Fisher, let's just change the color of this a little bit. Fisher Price, all right? Let's kind of tone this down a little bit. So we have Fisher Price in circle number 1. So once we have Fisher Price in circle number 1, we have Babies R Us, okay? Now we have this one big circle of Babies R Us, and then we have another big circle of Fisher Price. Now the red in the middle is that overlapping audience, the same audience that likes Babies R Us and likes Fisher Price. They're interested in that. So that tells me right away that not only do they know about Babies R Us as a store in general, meaning they've heard about it and they know that Babies R Us is all about buying baby gear, baby stuff, right? And Fisher Price as a brand, the brand that sells their products in stores like Babies R Us. So that's the type of people I want to target, the type of people that are familiar with these brands, and more than anything, they're going to be mothers more than anything. Now, again, I'm not saying fathers can't do this stuff, that's fine. But listen, mothers will know about this stuff more than anything. And here's the best part about the babies is, that mothers purchase more, women purchase more, okay? I mean, it's not even something like, a lot of people say, damn, that's sexist. No, it's not, it's a freaking fact, okay? Women purchase more than men do. So when it comes down to it, you got to realize a niche like this would be like an ideal niche where you can cross-reference a brand and a store, a massive store where you can go out there and pretty much sell your products. Now, a lot of people are going to ask me, they're going to say, Dan, so you're telling me I can do Walmart and like cat food? No, I'm not telling you that. Actually, that's not at all what I'm telling you. The reason that I found this over here is because Fisher Price is just a brand that creates products, right? That creates like baby clothes, and if I'm selling rompers, that's baby clothes as well. Babies R Us is just a massive baby store. So if there's like Catnip R Us, then yeah, go for it. Target Catnip R Us. But when it comes down to it, this is kind of how I'm targeting, and the range that I like to stay in as well, like I showed you before, is this right here. All right, so for niching down really, really far, in our case right here with the baby rompers, we actually are. So we're going out there and really trying to hyper focus on getting sales on this romper, right? So what we're trying to do in turn is stay between 75K and 500K. And then once we get 200 to 300 purchases, or we'll call it sales, what we're gonna do is we're gonna create our LAA at 1%, and more than likely your LAA will be like 1.5, 2.1 million people, somewhere in that range, more the 2 side than anything else. So your 1% range will be that 2 million person, and then that LAA will just do all the sales for you. And that's all you have to worry about. Now, creating an LAA is actually fairly simple as well. Well, I'm not gonna talk about it in this video because the LAA right now, I'm gonna create a separate little video explaining what LAA is, lookalike audience, how you can create it, what the importance is, and pretty much everything you need to know about a lookalike audience, because they are pretty important. And this is how we're gonna get our Facebook ads to convert as well. So what I want you to do right now is, this is pretty much the end of the video. Again, I have nothing to sell to you. I really have nothing to, offer you right now, unfortunately, because I know a lot of you guys want to buy stuff. So, so again, what I want you to do is pretty much give me a thumbs up on this video if you really enjoyed this content and really enjoyed learning about this, because this stuff right here is really going in depth on some stuff that nobody really talks about. And again, it's my pleasure on being able to bring that out for you. But again, shoot me a like, leave me a comment in the video, and I'm going to release the next video tomorrow as well. So I'd like just to say thank you for watching. Make sure you're subscribed. I'm gonna sign off and drink some more milk from my wine glass. Wish me luck. Catch you guys tomorrow. Okay, done. That's a fun video.